It's time for the moment you've been waiting for.
Hey guys, it's the cheapest critic here, and today I'm really tired.
You're such a fucking hoe, I love it.
I've tried to make this video several times, and I'm sorry that it took so long for this thing to get out, but I'm really depressed right now that there's several things in my life I had to deal with. So there, I explained why it took so long for me to put out another video. Now let's get to the top 20. Are we for real doing this right now? Why on earth are we giving this man a top 10 hit? Even I, who can admit that he's not the worst artist in the world, can admit that this is the worst song he's ever worked on. It's lazy, boring, slow. It's nothing like his other songs in the worst of ways. Before now, I can actually see the appeal of him. He's fun, fast, stupid, and utterly obscene. But what is so appealing about Fifi? It's just like every single other song on the Hot 100. But without a doubt, the thing that angers me the most is that they made this song in about half an hour. This is literally the least amount of effort you can put onto a hip-hop song. I literally do not see the appeal of the song in any sort of way. There's nothing to like. There's nothing to be interested in. There's nothing unique. There's nothing different. And you know what? I'm not gonna take it. This garbage is not gonna stand with me.
It's a rolling, not a stop. Watch shit don't never stop.
This is possibly the most uninteresting Drake song I've ever heard in my entire life. I do not really need to explain why this song is so boring and awful. So you know what? I'm not. This basically explains itself.
I can't go in public like civilian, for real. For real. And I'll probably take a Kiki, do you love me?
This song was number 1 for most of the summer. I just need to ask, why? This song is literally a combination of 2 better Drake songs, and it makes it so much worse. Nice for What had great sampling, a good message, and Drake actually having energy. And God's Plan had interesting lyrics, while also having a sense of scale. And My Feelings tries to do both at the same time, and completely falls on its face. Let's chalk up the reasons why this song is so bad. 1. The sampling is just plain god-awful. 2. This song is just about a bunch of girls that Drake wants to get into his pants. Because Drake. And number 3, Drake does not sound enthusiastic about anything. He's boring. But the thing that's really getting me angry is that there's so many other rappers this year that actually put quality into their music, had an album and everything, but Drake is the only one that had longevity. Heck, Travis Scott only managed to get a hit off the ground because it had Drake on it. Oh. Sicko Mode had the potential to be a really solid song, even with Drake, but somehow everything got messed up. One of the major components about Astroworld are the beat switch-ups, and I do like that component of Astroworld, but this song, it just feels like they were slapdashed. The first beat in the entire song is really well done and sets up the atmosphere perfectly, but before it can go anywhere, they have a beat switch up that switches to a completely different segment of the song. And then when you're really starting to get into that beat, they switch it up again for a typical Drake beat, which is by far the weakest out of the 3. I'm not saying that Drake did the worst on the song because we have Non-Stop and My Feelings to prove for that, but a part of me wishes that he was just in the opening because that's where he was strongest. And overall, I think Travis Scott did a much better job on the beat on the end. The song would be 10 times stronger if A, they cut out the last third, and B, smoothing the transition between the first beat and the second one. But in the end of the day, this song is just way too long and way too messy in order to be considered anything other than bad. But anything else off of Astroworld, I will take, please.
drip too hard, don't stand too close. You gon' fuck around and drown off this way. Doing all these shows.
The thing I don't hate about the song is surprisingly Little Baby's performance. The lyrics really do suck, yes, but Little Baby's flow is surprisingly not bad. I mean, Gunna tries to stay on the same flow and energy that Little Baby provides, but his voice is nowhere near as unique as Little Baby. Also, he's barely in the song at all, so it doesn't really make a difference either way. The lyrics are still bland and generic and all of that, but I could really see myself growing on the Little Baby parts in the due future. Why do I do this to myself? Please, can someone answer me?
Pull up in a demon on guard, looking like I still do fraud.
Kodak Black is back, guys, and he's actually not terrible, I guess. The production is fine, it's passable. It would have done better for a summer song, but I guess it's fine for some tropical flair. Kodak Black's performance is fine, but overall he's the weakest out of the three. Travis again has a lot of personality, but Offset is the best with his technical skill. The way that he switches up his flow every couple seconds is really fun and interesting, but I expected a lot worse out of Kodak Black. So the fact that these three songs I can define as okay is kinda strange to me. This song is fine, I suppose. I don't really hate Drake's hook on this, it actually sounds quite appealing. Bad Bunny sounds nice overall as well, but the lyrics are just so generic. It isn't horrendous in any way, but there's nothing special about the song in any sort of regard. Best Drake song in the top 20 though, I'll give it that. Out of all the songs on Sweetener, this is by far the most generic. Everything about the song is just okay. The production is fine, Ariana Grande sounds great, but the lyrics are just kinda there. This is just the same type of sex song she's been making for the past couple years. I'm kinda getting tired of it. Unlike No Tears Left to Cry, which was a breath of fresh air in the pop scene, this is just kinda standard. But the last 30 seconds is genuinely one of the best things pop music has brought to us this year. So thank you, Ariana.
I still see your shadows in my room. Can't take back the love that I gave you.
Yes, I know I should hate this song a lot more than I actually do, but come on, give me a break. The production on the song is just simply astounding. Sting's melody is so well suited for Juice WRLD's voice, it's just crazy. In fact, if this was being counted just on the production standpoint, this would probably be number one. But we also have to judge on the lyrics. I'm not gonna lie, the lyrics on this song are absolutely terrible, but they do not detract that much from my overall enjoyment of this song. Obviously they could be better, but they're not, and we have to deal with that. It's not a great song, but it had the potential to be a great song. Juice WRLD has done far, far worse though, and I'm gonna be talking about that soon up, so yeah.
Cause girls like you run around with guys like me till sundown when I come through.
Girls Like You is just completely fine. This is possibly the most inoffensive song in the entire Hot 100, and I'm honestly kind of fine with that. The acoustic guitar is soothing, Adam Levine doesn't sound annoying, and Cardi B actually tries on this song.
So who you gonna call Cardi? Cardi, come and rev it up like a Harley, Harley.
For a modern Maroon 5 song, it honestly does everything it needs to do really well. A lot of people hate the song for the fact that it doesn't really go anywhere, and honestly I can see that as a flaw, but I can't really say it's terrible just because it doesn't really do anything special. The song would have been great if they actually, led up to something, but if you're actually expecting all of this, you're really expecting too much out of modern Maroon 5. And this is coming from a guy that likes sugar and animals. Wait, did I just admit that?
Yeah, that I mean, taste. She can get a taste. Taste.
Okay, the production on this song is simply astounding, and I think everybody has mentioned that at this point. Tyga doesn't do a bad job, in fact he does better than Offset, who just sounds really bored.
Yeah, I'ma put the drip on the plate. Yeah.
At least Tyga is able to have a flow, and Offset doesn't embarrass himself. Along with a great melody, it really makes the song okay. But the fact that Tyga is having a comeback actually scares me. Is it sad to say that I'm really starting to grow in the song? It's not great or anything, but the build up before the chorus on each verse is honestly pretty good.
Will somebody
trees shadowing what's happening.
And I would really love the chorus if it wasn't for, you know... Dude, you can pipe it down a little. You're really starting to hurt yourself.
I'm gonna make it. Taki, 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 rumba.
Hey wow, DJ Snake is actually back and relevant again. And for once this drop isn't terrible. But I would understand if these flutes might be annoying to some people. It might be a little bit too high pitched. That along with the boring lyrics are pretty much all the problems I have with this song, because I really enjoy the performances. This is the first time I actually like Azuna on a song and don't find him absolutely irritating, so that's a plus. His more high-pitched voice actually sounds pretty decent against this beat, and it's way better than anything he's ever done. Cardi B is, well, she's being Cardi B. She has energy, she has flair, but possibly the biggest surprise is Selena Gomez, who doesn't suck. She does a laid-back performance, which actually works well for her. If she did this more often, maybe I would like a lot more of her music, but when you put everything together, it turns out to be a pretty solid package. I hope that this actually breaks out on the radio. Okay, Marshmello sucked with Friends and kinda sucked with his other singles, but I can actually say that there was a lot of effort put in here. The lyrics, while flawed, are ultimately sweet. The production is actually more complex than anything he's ever made before. And most of all, Bastille is back. Pompeii might be one of my favorite songs of the 2010s era. And while this isn't nearly as good, man, does Dan Smith sound really good. His voice really works off the EDM instrumental and is strong as always. So, yeah, I can really dig this. It's not great or anything, but it's a really good step in the right direction for Marshmello. I recently went to go see A Star Is Born, which is honestly a great movie and you should all check it out. The thing I'm gonna bring up though is that this song plays an instrumental big point in the relationship between Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga in the film. And the song itself isn't the thing that makes it stand out in the film itself.
I started writing this song the other day. Maybe that could work, like as a chorus or something. I'm off the deep end.
So I would understand if most people wouldn't actually like this song on its own. The instrumental is slow, the lyrics are kinda dull, but the thing that really pulls it out of that area of blandness is the performances. Now before I go to Lady Gaga, I do need to bring up that Bradley Cooper does do a good job on the song. His wonderfully subdued performance is actually a good contrast to Gaga, who unsurprisingly steals the entire show. I mean, my god, her voice sounds so good. Though yet again, I don't think this works as a mainstream pop song because she really goes off the rails. This is a soundtrack song first and a pop song second, and that might have some people get turned off, and I would understand why. Regardless, I still think this is a solid song and really works in the context of the movie. So please, watch the film, I really recommend it. Not surprisingly, this is still really good. Cardi B still has energy, the production has always been fantastic, and I'm starting to grow in Bad Bunny and J Balvin. Their performances aren't the best, but they do add a certain amount of flair in their performances that I didn't really notice before. If the lyrics were better from Bad Bunny, then I would honestly say this is great, but regardless, this is a really good song. Wow, a 5 Seconds of Summer song that doesn't suck. The energy, tempo, and the sound of the song is simply better than everything they ever made. The only thing that's holding it back is that it's not dark enough, the lyrics are kind of bland and meaningless, and overall, it's still 5 Seconds of Summer. It's not really going to break any boundaries, but I'm surprised they got this good, so please keep it up. A lot of people have had complaints because this song sounds a lot like Boot Up. Is that a problem? Boot Up is one of the best hit songs in the entire year. Obviously the follow-up was gonna have some sort of spirit towards it, and it's still really solid. Again, the lyrics are actually about a loving relationship, and LMI sounds really solid. My only problem with this song is that really she doesn't put a lot of emotion into her voice. It doesn't sound nearly as happy as Boot Up, and I actually prefer the Jacquees Quee mix that he made a while back.
But I think that I'm done tripping, I'm tripping, I've been sipping, that's how I control.
He adds a lot of emotion and energy that LMI is just too inexperienced to really give. Too bad he did this without the label's permission, so it wouldn't actually be a single. Shame.
You know I said that I am better now, better now. I only say that cause you're not around, not around.
This is probably the best song Post Malone has ever made, but the lyrics describe an actual believable relationship between a couple that followed out. The only issue is that I don't know what emotion Post Malone really wants to display. Is he sad? Is he angry? Is he depressed? Is he sarcastic? Especially when you have the bridge which says,
You're only the love of my life.
it's conflicting emotions that really holds this back from being great. And speaking of great,
You got some shit to say and I'm here to listen, so baby tell me where your love lies.
hey, no surprise, Khalid makes great music that is a slow burn, thank God. I love this song mainly due to the chemistry between Khalid and Normani, and no surprise, she does fantastic. As someone who's hated Fifth Harmony for years, it's finally good to see them all split up and actually do some good music. And Normani was the best of all of them, so it's no surprise that she would collaborate with a great artist like Khalid. And again, no surprise that she would kill the song out of the park. Their voices are so rich that it really makes it easy to vibe to.
Tell me where your love lies. Waste the day and spend the night.
Unlike LMI, who doesn't put any emotion into her voice, and Lady Gaga, who might put a little bit too much emotion into her voice, this is the perfect blend that makes it really nice to listen to. The melodies are great, Khalid and Normani are great, and the lyrics are solid enough so they don't have to drag down the entire song. What can I say? It's an actually great pop song in the year 2018. What a shock. This video took me 2 months to make.
Screw my life.